All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahawashi, Ba Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom and salute to the hopefully elect from the least to the greatest. So I was just thinking about, the scriptures and, the stories and the scenes. I'm just sitting here, just thinking, and what came to my mind is when Yahawashi, the scenery, they played it in movies sometimes. They depicted him as a so-called white man, which, by now, the truth is out that he was a so-called black man. But anyway, when he went before Pontius Pilate, and, he didn't have too much to say because when I was looking at some videos on some, what they call videos with police interactions. And a lot of times when people get arrested, they end up getting themselves in more trouble than what they already were by talking and giving the police more information than they really are. Really, you're supposed to cooperate. We teach that we do cooperate if we get pulled over or anything happen, but you don't have to give them too much information that will incriminate yourself. There's a couple books on guys, whereas though they a lot of lawyers say it's a book that came out and it's called when police ask questions, you say, well, I don't answer questions, or of course you cooperate if they ask you for your license and registration and all that. But when they get to fishing, you don't have to answer those questions because that's there's laws on that, and we all know that the Heavenly Father set up the laws on the left and the right hand side. But it's amendments set up that they could violate your Sixth and Fifth Amendment. So the amendment, the fifth states that you don't have to answer any questions without your lawyer, or you had a right. That's why they say you had a right to remain silent. You know what I'm saying? That's your right. You have the right to remain silent. So when cops go get the fishing, you don't have to answer all those questions. You just simply say, I'd rather not answer that question or answer all those questions without a lawyer present, because sometimes you can get yourself, you could incriminate yourself, but I was just thinking, I was just watching some videos on that, and hey, it was straight to the point when, even when Jake, you got Edomites follow along with that, with their rights, you know what I'm saying? You get the cop. A lot of cops, they try to fill a quota, and they will ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? Fishing. They call it fishing, where cops start to answer questions so you can incriminate yourself, and they can find an excuse to lock you up. And then you locked up, you lost your job, and so on, so on, so on, so. And the cop, they just trying to get a quota, But anyway, I was thinking about that, and it was kind of similar to when Yahawashi, not saying it was the same incident, but it was similar. When Yahawashi went in before, in front of Pontius Pilate, he didn't really answer, and that was prophecy. Actually, that was prophecy. It was prophesied that he would be like a lamb sent to the slaughter, because he really didn't put up a defense when he went to Pontius Pilate, because he was the sacrificial lamb. And I'm going to get that scripture. Let's go to Isaiah, the 53rd chapter. And this is about Yahawashi. This verse right here say the suffering servants. And it's about really, what does it say, the servant. What's that scripture? It says, If the master went through it, the servant, how if Yahawashi went through it, so some of us brothers, we're going through it now. We're getting, persecuted and have to go through hardships and stuff like that. So if we part of the elect, we're going to go through this just about some of the same things that Yahawashi went through. We're going to get framed. We're going to get things that we 100% innocent of. They're going to blame stuff on us that we ain't do. And now, you got this AI out. They could have you robbing a store or doing whatever. And it's 100% AI. You might be sitting in your house, sleep, or sitting down eating somewhere. You might look on the news. You're like, that ain't me. But we already know that's coming. We already know that everything is set up by the Lord, and it's for it's for prophecy's sake. But let's start. This is Isaiah 53:1. I'll start at 1. It says, "Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He have no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him." And that's not saying that Yahawashi, a lot of people like to say this means that Yahawashi wasn't beautiful or no, this is just saying that he came humble. He was like a regular. He could have excelled if he wanted to, because that was the Lord. But he wanted to show the humility, just like when he was in Jerusalem and all the people, they kind of knew he was the Lord, and they'd start throwing palms down and all that. But he came in on a donkey. You got guys riding on horses, Nate. You got guys riding on horses, and Yahawashi ain't even come like that. On Passovers riding through in a horse. Yahawashi hopped on a donkey. That was just showing the humility that he came in. He came into Jerusalem on a donkey. And then he did the same thing when he was Solomon. He came on, that's how you know that was the same spirit, because he did the same thing when he was Solomon. He rode on that donkey when he went into Jerusalem, when he was Solomon, and when he was Yahawashi, he did the same thing. And I believe they threw palms and all. They had like somewhat of a celebration when he came in, because they knew that was the king. A lot of people thought he was one of the prophets, Jeremiah, or one of them, which, those guys are great men as well. But nobody trumps Yahawashi. He's the everything. This is what this book is based upon. He's the number one Israelite, and we follow. We like his little brothers, But any old way, it says, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows. Yeah. And when we go through this in this kingdom, in Babylon, sorrows, we have nothing but sorrows. I mean, God damn, every time you turn around with something, even in the little shit that I go through, it's like you never get a break. It says, and acquainted with grief, and we hid as if it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. It says, surely he have borne our grief and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Lord, and afflicted. The Most High, I'm sorry. But he was wounded for our transgressions. Right, so the Lord, he got on that cross basically for us, for his sins and our sins, because that's how much he loved the nation of Israel. When he was King Solomon, he said, the Lord asked him, well, what do you want? And he didn't ask for riches or anything like that. He said, give me the mind to judge these people correctly. That's deep right there. That was in his heart, because he could have easily asked for, hey, give me this and give me that. Give me women, give me this. He was like, nah, give me the right heart and a right spirit to judge these people, these great people correctly. Because we was a great nation. He said that back then. So we had to been some great people. I mean, if he would have looked at us now, I don't know if he would have had the same feeling. Probably because we destroyed now. But back then in ancient times, which we are the same spirits, so he probably could see the greatness in us now, even now, when we at our lowest, when we stricken down, he still see the greatness. Hey, the elect gonna be pulled out of this mess. So he know our spirits. He know us. He even know the 2/3 spirits. You know, the 2/3 are great. You know, they are. I mean, the 2/3, and people might say I'm crazy for saying this, but the 2/3 are going to be saved eventually. I mean, they ain't going to make it all on this side, but you got to look at the 2/3 are still great. Look at shit. Look at the football and man, you be some of them Jakes, they be having spiritual power, man. I be seeing some of them dunks and all that, man. Jake, that's spiritual power, man. You know? So, you know, our nation is a great nation. It says, surely, where I was at, it says, but he was wounded for our transgressions, and he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord have laid on him the iniquity of us all. It says he was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. Yeah, so there you go, right there. It says, here's the verse right here. It says he was oppressed and he was afflicted, right? Because when he came on the scene, what was that? Yahawashi was in Jerusalem, right? Or, you know, he was born in, Bethlehem, and then he grew up in Nazareth, the city of Nazareth, which back then those were Jake cities. Like you got the city of Baltimore, the city of Philly, the city of New York. So back then, New York or Harlem would be like Jerusalem, and Yahawashi probably grew up in Baltimore or something. And then when he got older, he went to like Harlem or something, or New York, or, you know what I mean? That's how it was. Because he didn't grow. He wasn't born and raised in Jerusalem. Which is Bethlehem in Jerusalem? No, Bethlehem is not in Jerusalem. He was born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth, which Nazareth was a city in Israel, but it wasn't in Jerusalem. Jerusalem was like New York, or a great city back then. So he would have been born and raised in a city like 2-3 cities over, you know. But anyway, it says he was oppressed and was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. And that's prophecy when he went and before Pontius Pilate. He really ain't say too much. So that was the prophecy right there. It says he is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. It says he was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generations? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my peoples was he stricken. Yeah, so he died for us. It says, and he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. And here's another one that we go over. It said, I learned this from the elder, some of the elders and apostles. It says, yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. So it pleased the Most High. And I believe it, when the Lord is all caps, it's talking about the Most High. Let's go into it just to make sure. Was this it? Here it is. Yeah, so it says Jehovah, the existing one, the proper name of the one true God. Yeah, so it's talking about the Most High. Not Yahawashi, but the Most High. So it says, verse 10, yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. So because when he went off at Solomon, he went off. So the Lord was angry with him. And then he was like, he gonna get hit with the stripes of men. So that pleased the Lord when the Lord was it pleased the Most High that Yahawashi paid for his sins. And that's deep, man. That's where it says the Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. It pleased him to see his own son suffer because of the sins. But guess what? That made him the king. When Yahawashi suffered, that made him like no other. That's another reason why it pleased him. Because he had to go through that to be the Lord. He was already the Lord, but he had to suffer like that for prophecy. So let's go to John, I believe it's 18. And this where it says Yahawashi before Pilate. It says, then led they Yahawashi from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment. And it was early, and they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. It says, Pilate then went out unto them and said, what accusations bring ye against this man? It say, they answered and said unto him, if he were not a malefactor, we would not have delivered him unto thee. It says, then said Pilate unto them, take ye him and judge him according to your law. The Jews therefore said unto him, it is not lawful for us to put any man to death, that the saying of Yahawashi might be fulfilled, which he spake, signifying what death he should die. It says, then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again, and called Yahawashi and said unto him, art thou the king of the Jews? It says, Yahawashi answered him, saying, thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me? It says, Pilate answered, I am a Jew, thine own nation and chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? It says, Yahawashi answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. It says, Pilate therefore said unto him, art thou a king then? Yahawashi answered, thou sayest that I am king. So he was basically, so he was saying, he was communicating with Pilate, but in a way where as though, he was like, you saying everything. I'm not saying it. You know what I'm saying? So he said, thou sayest that I am the king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. Pilate said unto him, what is truth? And when he said this, he went out again unto the Jews and said unto them, I find him no fault at all. So Yahawashi was sort of communicating with him, but he didn't put up like a defense. You see what I'm saying? Like he didn't really plead like, you know what I'm saying? So it says, but ye have a custom that I should release unto you one at the Passover. Will ye therefore that I release unto you the king of the Jews? Then cried they all again, saying, not this man, but Barnabas. Now Barnabas was a robber. Let's go to the next verse. It says, then Pilate therefore took Yahawashi and scourged him. And the soldiers platted a crown of thorns and put it on his head. And they put on him a purple robe. So let's go to, so Pilate was a demon himself too. Because everybody, when you read this, they make it seem like Pilate ain't really do nothing. But it said Pilate scourged him. Let's go to the word scourge. Where is it at? To scourge. Mock and scourge. Let's go to this one. Well, hold on. All right, just say to scare. Hold on. There you go. So he whipped Yahawashi. So they make it seem like Pilate ain't really do nothing. Yeah, that devil did. It says whip are used as an instrument of punishment. So that devil, he gonna get it too. Pontius Pilate, he gonna get it too. Now, of course, he said, at first he said, I don't see no charge in this man, you know what I mean? But then he turned around and scourged Yahawashi and whipped him. So he was a devil, he was a devil too. So it says, then Pilate therefore took Yahawashi and whipped him. And the soldiers platted a crown of thorns and put it on his head. And they put on him a purple robe. So they mocked him. You know what I'm saying? Pilate and his soldiers mocked him. You know, even I kind of had the story kind of like mixed up a little bit. But Pontius Pilate was a demon, man. He was a demon. It says, and said, "Hail, King of the Jews," and they smote him with their hands. See, so Pontius Pilate was a damn demon, and he gonna get it. He coming, and we believe that he's one of those senators or presidents or whatever. His ass gonna get it in the kingdom. You better believe Yahawashi didn't forget about that. Going back 2,000 years ago, Yahawashi want his get back, and he will get his get back. You know, and they know about this. These elites, they know about this story. They know Yahawashi is a so-called black man. They know that what they did in the past. They know about all that. He's probably this Pontius Pilate dude. He's probably most likely a Amalekite, because he was ruling back then. He's probably a Amalekite, probably one of those Rothschilds, I believe, or one of them Edomite dukes families. The 13, what they call the 13 Illuministic satanic families. He come out of that. It says, Pilate therefore went forth again and said unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. See, it was a demon. He was a demon too, because he it seemed like Pontius Pilate ain't doing nothing. It seemed like he's trying to plead for Yahawashi, but he in the background whipping him. You see what I'm saying? He going out to the Jews saying, I found no fault in this guy. But in the background, he whipping him and putting crowns on his head, sticky crowns on his head, making him bleed. You know what I'm saying? So he was a demon. Am I reading this wrong or what? I mean, let's read it again. This is John 19. It says, Then Pilate therefore took Yahawashi and whipped him. And the soldiers platted a crown of thorns. You ever had a crown of thorns put on your head? You know how, oh man, I got stung by one of them thorns many a times, actually. And that was in my hands. So imagine it in your head. That hurts. So you know he was in pain. You got thorns sticking in your head. So you know blood was just rushing down his, his face and eyes and all that. On the sides of his head. He had to been bleeding. And it said, and they put on his head, and they put on him a purple robe. And purple represents royalty. So they knew what they was doing, man. It said, and it said, "Hail, King of the Jews." So they was mocking him, and they smote him with their hands. So they beat him up. And then Pilate, and as I'm reading it, it says, "Pilate therefore went forth again, and said unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. But you in the back whipping him." So this is a damn devil. It says, "Then came forth Yahawashi, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate said unto them, Behold the man. When the chief priests therefore and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify, crucify him." And we believe those people, a lot of those people, of course, are the 2/3 were saying that. But those people were the same people that in the next lifetime they were getting hung. And you know what I mean? The 2/3, you know the jakes that get shot down and all in the streets and all them. Some of them were out there. The jakes that, and hey, some of us, we did some bad things in the past. That's why we gotta tread lightly. I mean, ain't really nothing we can do, because the Lord, he got everything mapped out. But all we can do is hope that. That's why we say we the hopefully elect, because we know that we did some of these things in the past, because what we going through now, we going through hell. You know what I mean? But a lot of those people were out there that was, most likely the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Levi. That was the majority of them was in that land at the time. And they were in that crowd, saying, "Crucify him, crucify him." Those jakes that be dying of horrific deaths and all them, that be them. Because you got to understand, you came by now, you done came back through the reincarnation probably 10, I don't know how many times, and you had to go before the Lord, and he had to give you that judgment. You had to go the same person. And it's all set up by the Most High. So everything is preordained. You saying, "Crucify him, crucify him." But then in the next lifetime, you got to go before this same man to get judgment. What you think your judgment going to be? It's going to be harsh. So a lot of those people a lot of people we have in our slave sign, they're the same people that was out there saying, "Crucify him, crucify him." Not all. I mean, because it's things where Jake ain't do too much, but it's all of the Lord. Still, you still went through hell. Shit, you might have ain't really do too much, but we all went off, and you still might have got hung. You know what I mean? Or still faced a horrific death, or whatever. It's all of the Lord. All right. So it says, "Crucify, crucify." Pilate said unto them, "Take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him." So if you find no fault in him, why would you then do the things you did? Or why would you turn him over? Or why would you know what I mean? So this Pontius Pilate dude was a damn devil himself, but he was trying to play the role as though he was trying to, get off. You know how these devils do. They devilish. So they're gonna like sniggle out of trying to, their judgment. Like, I ain't do it, but I'm doing it. I don't want to do it. I ain't a part of this, but I'm a part of this. You see what I'm saying? So that's how this devil was playing. He was playing both sides, like a devil would do. It says, so the Jews answered him, we have a law, and by our laws he ought to die, because he made himself the son of the Most High. It says, when Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was more afraid. Ooh. It says, and went again into the judgment hall and saith unto Yahawashi, whence art thou? It says, now this is the part I'm talking about. It says, but Yahawashi gave him no answer. So that was like him. Yahawashi could have pleaded, but Yahawashi didn't answer him. You know what I'm saying? So that was the sheep being led to the slaughter. It says, then said Pilate unto him, speak thou not unto me. So he's saying, you ain't gonna answer, you ain't gonna speak. Knowing thou not that I have power to crucify thee and have power to release thee. So this devil said, oh, so you're not going to answer me, knowing that I had the power to kill you or release you? It says, Yahawashi answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. So Yahawashi said, you damn devil, you ain't got no power. It's my Father is the one with the power. And you just a damn puppet. So it says, therefore he that delivered me unto thee had the greatest sin. Right? It says, and from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him. But the Jews cried out, saying, if thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh himself a king speaketh against the Caesar. So you had these coons, right? You had a whole bunch of coon niggas saying, no, crucify him, kill him. Because Pontius Pilate was going to release him. Even though he's a devil, he was going to release him. But Pontius Pilate himself was playing both sides too. Because this devil was in the background whipping on Yahawashi. Putting crowns on his head, whipping on him. But then he was going to release him, though, after that. But you had these coon niggas, which we believe they are the Al Sharptons. They back here now. Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, what's that other nigga, that other coon, Jesse Jackass. They probably was the same spirits back then in the courthouse, going against Yahawashi. Saying, crucify him, which it probably was. So it says, if y'all don't kill him, you ain't Caesar's friend. So they cooning, they buck dancing, buffooning and cooning. So it says, when Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Yahawashi forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called pavement, but in Hebrew, Gabbatha. All right. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to, you can, if you want to, you can furnish the story up and read the rest of it. Because then it goes to the crucifixion and all that. But that's all I wanted to bring forth. I was just thinking about this story today when I was, just sitting down, But I hope this was edifying to the body. Till again, Shalom.